Now we are looking at a decaying hospital structure, which has been left deserted for numerous decades. Local lore insists that the premises are haunted by the lingering spirits of those who met their demise within its walls. And people state that they can hear peculiar sounds and see spectral forms haunting these abandoned halls. The video was shared by an urban explorer named Pradeep, and this late afternoon we see him navigating through its eerie corridors. At some point we are getting confronted with a spine-chilling sight as the camera captures an unsettling image down the hallway. Upon closer inspection, it appears to be a lifeless figure on a gurney. Yet, within moments, when the camera pans back, the figure mysteriously vanished. Opinions on the authenticity of the footage diverge. It's hard to say what exactly had unfolded here that day, but it certainly makes you wonder if we became witness to an actual paranormal event here. This video was shared by Breakman, and it's a pretty interesting case. It tells us that he had received an email from a person called Yara, who is experiencing some quite baffling activity in the home of her family. They often gather on the weekends, and it was this particular night that Yara's uncle noticed something strange just a few meters away at the horses' little stable, and the horses seemed quite afraid.
Ahí está, mira. Ahí hay algo. Wait.
It seems that something of small stature is standing close to the horses. The family states that they have never seen this thing before and had no good explanation of where it could have come from. I find that it has quite the strange silhouette, and I have no good explanation either, but it certainly was frightening the horses. Was this an otherworldly encounter perhaps? What is your idea? This video was found in the paranormal section of Reddit. Two young men were supposedly discovering the tunnels of an old mine. They were going on trips together quite frequently and found some really strange stuff in some of these tunnels, to say the least. But this video was a bit different than the others. As they were making it through the abandoned mine shafts, the man filming can capture something without even noticing it at the time.
No squeezing yet.
There's a large shadow standing in the distance. The men were sure that it couldn't have been caused by any of the two, and there was nobody else in there. After a quick pan, this shadow has just vanished. The shadow itself also is looking quite a bit odd in terms of proportion. The head looks quite big, but it also could be that whoever is reflected on the rocks here is wearing a jacket with a large collar. They had no idea what we were seeing here. It was an inexplicable event for the two men, up until this day. The following clip was uploaded by Hubble Vision, and he was looking for help in the paranormal section of Reddit. He tells us, "So, we have someone who worked here that said after a wedding she saw a little boy running across the room, followed by chills. The doors opened while the party was going on. She doesn't like talking about it. A year or so later, this happened." The doors opened while a party was going on, and Hubble states that it is very unlikely for it to have been caused by wind. The doors at the top of the screen lead into a banquet room with the kitchen in, and there were people in there at the time, so we don't pay much attention to the activity in that particular doorway. The man on the left was one of his former bosses, and on the brink of quitting himself due to him witnessing many of these strange encounters. But the door opening is one thing. What's really weird is the table in the back though. Take a good look. It looks as if something is lifting up the tablecloth. Maybe even an apparition can be seen here. How do we explain that? Really mysterious. Next video was uploaded by Exploration Unknown, which is run by John in Tennessee. The channel is focused on visiting abandoned and unusual locations, so it's not surprising that he may have run-ins with the paranormal. The clip was filmed at the abandoned Brushy Mountain State Prison, which is known to be a haunted location, and was filmed at approximately 3 a.m. It appears that the group is visiting some sort of basement or parking structure in the prison, just exploring and capturing some footage, when they happen to catch this on camera.
Is your name Leroy? Dude, I just heard something from like another room. I heard something back that way. Dude, you hear that talk? Did you hear that? I hear a man's voice. Somebody might have called us here, dude. What was that? What was that?
Take a look at the far right of the screen. A strange shadow is suddenly caught moving in the back portion of the room. It doesn't seem like the shadow aligns with any of the people present. It definitely has a humanoid shape, although it is quite hard to tell in the darkness of the prison. It's tricky to say what could have caused this sighting, although the uploader does believe it was a shadow figure. Viewers also have commented that the negative energy in the video leads them to believe it was a paranormal capture. I suppose we will never know for sure what was captured at that abandoned prison, but it's pretty ominous. This is another classic, but still a pretty creepy video that was unsurfaced many years ago. It shows two hospital workers from Mexico who were fooling around during their night shift, when the nurse recording noticed something odd on the other side of the operating room door.
Es que te estoy enfocando a las boobies. Ah, no mames.
¿Qué?
Pasó algo.
¿Qué pasó? No mames.
A ver, ven. No mames, pasó algo, te lo juro que pasó algo,
Se mueve, ya se mueve.
Vete a la verga.
Yo no voy.
No mames.
There is, without a doubt, a fast-moving shadow of a man that passes the room from the left side of the screen to the right. There have been many documented cases of these fast-moving shadows. Perhaps this was a passed-on patient who was visiting these facilities one last time. If not, what else could this have been? After all, the Shadow Man had just vanished into thin air. Hard to say. Now we want to check out a new paranormal clip which was shared by user Mellowbird. He had shared quite a number of crazy poltergeist events in the past years, and some people have mistakenly called him out for being a faker. However, they oftentimes don't realize that in the video where he was wearing a green suit, he was simply showing that it would be impossible for him to fake all of the crazy activity in his home. One of the most interesting encounters this year had unfolded in the storage part of his house. Take a good look. A shadow entity is clearly appearing from the right corner, besides tons of other poltergeist activity that seems to be pretty common around his property. But what do you believe? I have no explanation at what we are looking at here exactly. Pretty eerie. Timothy, a young explorer from Canada, went to check out an old storm drain with a couple of friends the following night. He states that he got suspicious of that storm drain one day after seeing something move in there pretty fast. What was supposed to be a fun adventure turned into something quite unsettling for the group. Something fast and inhumane seems to be running at the group of friends, and of course they exit the tunnel immediately after. Unfortunately, it's not clear if this was a mysterious creature or something paranormal perhaps, but it certainly is nightmare material. Following is another unsettling recording which has been captured and shared by user Leon. He uploaded the following footage to the paranormal section of Reddit. He and two of his friends were out that night to check out a supposedly haunted and abandoned building, and what their camera captured can only be described as quite intriguing. He states, "We were investigating the administration building of the Norwich City State Hospital. We didn't find much that night, but believed to have caught the voice of Ghost Girl and a weird white figure. Been having trouble sleeping since this happened."
That's not my phone. That's not my phone. You heard that, right?
Believe it or not, but that voice you hear was unaccounted for. The girl was not part of the group, so it is believed that they might have captured a ghost girl. Other people say that this could also be a case of stone tape theory. This theory claims that a person's energy in their moments of death can be imprinted on certain stones and can be replayed under the right conditions. But they also captured this.
I don't know. You heard that. Dude, I swear. Dude, I swear to God it wasn't me.
A really odd white object is leaning towards the left side of the door, but it's too hard to say what exactly it was. If it was related to the voice, maybe it was the spirit of a former patient. Who can say for sure? The following video was uploaded in 2012 by Real Ghosts on Film. The user had been experiencing paranormal activity in the forest behind his home for a while now, including disembodied voices, and decided he would try and use a camera to see if he could catch a glimpse at the spirits haunting the woods, which he believes to be the ghost of a young girl. About the video he wrote, "I filmed in the woods behind my house for only 5 minutes before I located the open area where her energy was. I wanted to catch her image. I've seen her several times in the woods but never filmed her until now." In the very far left of the frame, a white spirit suddenly emerges from the bushes and seems to actually skip past the camera. It's hard to see many details of the entity, but the size seems to align with the idea that this could be the spirit of a child. The user also wrote that immediately after capturing this, his battery died and the camera turned off, although he had only been out and filming less than 10 minutes. Do you think this spirit could possibly be responsible for the sudden battery drain? It wouldn't be the first time something like that has occurred, but do you think it's a true ghost capture? Let me know. The following capture was taken by Night Guard in Mexico. and shared by Pasillo Infinito. The night guard states that many of the staff are talking about really weird sightings that they come across, particularly in the midst of night in this old hospital. Even ghostly patients can be seen ever so often, roaming the hallways, although people are generally not supposed to be there that late at night. It's really strange, but if you look closely, you can see a torso coming out of the floor, which is obviously not possible. The security guard is pretty sure that we are seeing a spirit here, or at least something non-human. But what do you think? I have certainly no explanation for this. The next video was shared by Tracy Paris, and the description reads that she was showing the following video on a family gathering, and it was recorded by a camera that two of her, I think, cousins have set up in their place, and there was some really ominous stuff going on.
Ahí fue, mire. ¿Sí cómo se movía eso?
Se cayó, levantó vuelo.
Ajá. Esa vaina ahí. Ah, yo, mi amigo.
Es que...
Y ahí. Que se cayó un papelito. Es que mi amigo instaló cámaras en la casa.
Okay, so I guess it's evening, but why is the light so bright outside? Somebody's still in the kitchen. Is that a ball or item that somebody threw? Oh wow, what's that? Look at the door here. Is that a hand? How do we explain that? This is like the worst that can happen. I mean, this looks like some really powerful activity. That's really weird.